And a special good morning, a special morning edition today of Today at the Races presented by Fidelity First. I'm your host, Stan Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fustel, and Ashley Mayu joining us from Fort Erie. You were with us yesterday. Glad to have you today. We have a big show, a big day of horse racing nationwide. The most popular 3-year-old, he runs today, War of Will. We'll be rooting him on NBC. But we have a big day here today. We're going to get to all the information we have today. Real quick, let's show you what happened yesterday. Nobody hit the Stronach 5. I got knocked out the first leg with Laddie's Liam. There's the carryover next Friday. I'm all in next Friday, Keith. Over 107,000 carryover in that Stronach 5.
And we saw that thing, went up to close to 400,000 when we had the carryover
a couple
prior.
Weeks ago, yeah.
Mr. Nicoletti gave it out, so yeah, we'll be shooting for Friday. But hey, we got a little bit of work to do today.
All right, so that's next Friday, the Stronach 5 carryover. Let's get right to today. It's a September to Remember Stakes Festival. We have 8 stake races, including a couple Grade 3s. Special first race post time 12:25. There's the lineup of races. We have the Grade 3 Baltimore-Washington International Turf Cup. That's race 7. And then we have race 8, the big feature of the day, the ExpressBet.com Grade 3 Frank J. DeFrancis Memorial Dash. It's a big day for Maryland racing. My co-host in the afternoon, Tim Tulloch, he has a live interview right now, right outside the historic Laurel Park paddock. Let's go to Tim Tulloch. He's with the president and general manager of the Maryland Jockey Club, Sal Sinatra. Also, Chris Murs, the racing secretary, joins them. Let's go to Tim right now.
All right, thanks, Stan. Good morning to everybody. And as you mentioned, I am joined by Sal Sinatra, president and general manager of Maryland Jockey Club, and Chris Murs, racing secretary here at the Maryland Jockey Club. And Sal, I'd like to start with you. What is the thinking and the thought process behind these super stakes days, and how do they benefit not only the track and the horsemen, but most importantly our fans?
Well, it's a good day you gather them all together. Everybody plans the day to come. It's easier for the other tracks to coordinate and stay off of each other and know that weekend's this track, that weekend's that track. Jockeys can make arrangements to be here for the whole card. And like this year, our race day, we have all the 8 stakes, and we also have the handicapping tournament. So the racing office was able to supply them with great races for their tournament. So we try and meld everything together. You got the wines outside, so those people, the novices, get to see some really quality racing. And the weather can be more beautiful today.
The weather couldn't be more beautiful, and we have a lot of action here, as Sal mentioned. And the man who's responsible for putting together that action is Chris Murs. He's the racing secretary at the Maryland Jockey Club. And Chris, tell us about a little bit of the preparation and the pressure that goes along with putting this card together and the satisfaction when it comes together.
Well, it helps a lot when you have probably the best racing office on the East Coast, if not the country. We all take a lot of pride of what we do, especially like big days like this, and working with the competitive trainers that we get to, and the classy owners put a day like this together, especially with a big handicapping day that's ahead of us today. And it just all comes together to put on a great card for our customers and people that are betting. So we take great satisfaction and pride in putting cards together like this.
Super, and it is a great card. So if you're not out here yet, come out and join us here at Laurel Park in the Maryland Jockey Club. With that, Stan, I'll send it back to you.
All right, good stuff. Live interview there. Tim Tulloch with Sal Sinatra and Chris Murs talking about the importance of a big day. And, of course, Keith, we remember Frank DeFrancis.
Oh,
he
yeah.
brought back Maryland racing in the 80s. The big feature today, the ExpressBet.com Frank J. DeFrancis Memorial Dash, named after him. And what a race, some of the top sprinters in the country.
Top sprinters in the country, a highly competitive race. And Frank would have liked this kind of day, just an assembly of stakes. 8 stakes. Competitive all the way through. I mean, once again, hats off to the racing office, Coley Blind, Chris Murs, and the whole gang over there. They did a phenomenal job, and, man, these races stayed intact, too.
Sure.
Only a couple scratches throughout the card.
Yep. It's such a nice day. Ashley, we need to let it breathe a little bit. Let it breathe like a nice red wine, okay? We're going to have reds on the rail. You heard Sal talking about the big day, the handicapping tournament, the big races, all the stakes action. And there you go. There's another big feature we have today, the reds on the rail. Come on out here to Laurel Park if you like some red wine, horse racing, beautiful weather. Let's get right to it here. Let's show you what's going on in the Pick 6 carryover. That's going to start race 7 today, the Grade 3 Baltimore-Washington International Turf Cup. That's a nice carryover, over 10,200 in that Pick 6. That starts race 7 today. Tim Tulloch has a ticket for that. All of our tickets and picks for today can be found online at laurelpark.com. Underneath the handicapping section, also a bunch of press releases that went out about all the stakes races today. That's on the website. information about Reds on the Rail and all that is on the website. Let's show you a picture of both tracks. Both tracks are beautiful. We're fast and firm. We're on the Dahlia turf course rail at 52 feet and the all-along turf course with no rail. Fast and firm. Couldn't ask for better conditions than this. 70s, sunny. What, man, about 74 maybe?
It's just gorgeous. Humidity's down today. It's just a very comfortable day all the way through. We're lucky to have this kind of weather for a big day. And looking at the track, the main track and the turf, anything I might have noticed yesterday on the turf, speed was carrying pretty well. You know, we did have the one sprint where the horse that was on the lead had to be used hard early, went very quick, came back a little bit to the field. A couple horses closed in. But for most of it, you wanted to be fairly close on this turf course. We'll see if it stays the same this afternoon.
Okay, well, let's get right to it. Let's get to the races. Race 1, a lot of action here in the opener. We kick off the rolling super high 5 in race 1. That's a low 15% takeout. We have it every race with 7 or more horses, so keep your eye on that throughout the day. Also, race 1 kicks off the popular early pick 5, which is a mandatory payout, industry low 12% takeout. Ashley, you have a ticket for the early pick 5. Let's check it out, see how you played it.
Yeah, I kind of struggled here. I thought about singling in their first stake of the day, the Salima. I was going to maybe single sharing the 7 for trainer Graham Motion, just because this one is coming out of Saratoga in the competition. Started looking at some of the replays, and I decided to also toss in the 3 Midship Lady. In the first race, I think we're all in agreement. We'll get to it in a second. We're all on the same horse, but anything can happen, and I want to see how the turf course is playing.
All right, so let's take a look here at race 1. Race 1, maiden claiming 40,000, 3 and up. We're going a mile on the Dahlia turf course rail at 52 feet. I go with the 8 on top. Let's check out our picks here for race 1, the 8-5 Alarm Robin. You get Engelhart, Vargas. They're 35% together here in Maryland with a positive ROI. And this horse been running some decent races up in New York. Probably finds a little easier spot today. And Ashley, you have the 8 on top here as well. So do you, Keith.
I do. I am looking back. The competition was just not quite cutting it up there in some tougher maiden special weight races that you get in New York at Belmont and Saratoga. The 2-back race caught my eye. A good effort. A move into the pace. Actually got a short lead. Faded late, but that 4th place finisher came out of that race. Ledeca was an Arno Delacour horse. Came back to run a big one, and then subsequently came back to win a stake on the synthetic. So I just think this one keys up against a little bit better horses. The mile distance should be, fall right into his lap. I think he'll sit just off the lead and move into it.
Okay, all right, so we all have the 8 on top. We all like the same 4 horses here in the opener. Let's speed along here. Race 2 is a nice maiden special weight. We had a big number in the early pick 4 yesterday. They bet a bunch of money into the early pick 4 yesterday. I like the early pick 4. Keith, you like the early pick 4 today. A nice maiden special weight to kick it off. Keith, let's check out your ticket.
Yeah, we're not going to go too costly for you to get it started. $16 for the early pick 4, 2 deep with the 4 Owens Honor and the 7 Pensaba. Interested to see what this 3-year-old Firster can do for Kelly Rubley. Boy, she's had some runners of late. Third race as well. We're going to go 4 and 7. Your second leg of the early pick 4. Spread a little bit deeper in race number 4. I thought this was a little trickier. First glance, you're looking Stroll smoking off the big number. One more great time, but I'm going to add a couple horses in there. We'll go 4, 5, 6, and 7. In the 5th, we'll wrap it up with the 4 and 6. Field Pass and Irish Mias.
All right, I have a ticket as well. Let's take a look here. I go a little deeper, a $40 ticket. I think this early pick 4 can pay 4 digits. I think it can pay $1,000, a couple thousand. I like some price horses there on my ticket. I'm 4 deep in the second race. I'm 4 deep in the Salima. I go with the 1, 3, 4, 7. I think I have a reliable single. Race 4, the 6 Stroll Smoking, looking for 4 in a row. Mark Reed and Julio Correa, they're red hot. And then I think I can maybe get a price in the Laurel Fraternity. I go 5 deep there. I go 1, 4, 5, 7, 9, $40 play. You can study all our tickets online at laurelpark.com. Okay. Let's take a look. Race 2, a nice maiden special weight filly mares, 3 and up, 6 furlongs, main track. I go with a 5-to-1 shot here. Claudio Gonzalez, first-time starter. The 6, My Queen Michelle, 3-year-old daughter of Revolutionary. They paid $35,000 for her as a 2-year-old. Claudio recently 25% with his first-time starters. A couple okay works here at Laurel. This 7-pound bug boy, Victor Rosales, really making the most of his opportunities riding for Claudio Gonzalez. Ashley, when this bug rides for Claudio, he's 47% in a positive ROI. That's how you do it, Victor. Keep getting these Claudio live horses home. I go with the 6, My Queen Michelle, on top.
I'm going to be going to the 4 Allen's Honor. Blinkers on today. I don't think it's a speed thing. Broke really nicely at Presque Isle in the debut. I think it's more of maybe a focus thing. Just got beat by 2 lengths in there and faded. I think that's a fair first start. And, Graham does decent with first-time starters, but his percentage with second time is just much stronger, 20%. And if you can see the stat now, for the past 2 years, 33% and 6 for 9 with maidens on the angle, switching from the synthetic to the dirt.
Absolutely. The surface switch could be key. Look at that ROI, close to $4. Olin's Honor showed speed in debut on that synthetic surface. Not a lot of proven speed of the runners that are in here. I think Olin's Honor will be forward. I'm going to try to beat her with the 7 Penn Saba, just a really red-hot barn of like Kelly Rubley sending out runner after runner, Afana. Then the list goes on and on. This is a horse by overanalyzed, only about 11% with the first-time starters out of a Pletcher mare. A Pletcher runner only ran a few times, but showed some talent. On the bottom side, you see a half-sister was 4 for 25, made a lot of money. The works leading into this are positive. Not an extremely tough group for debut. I'm going to ride the wave here with Kelly Rubley.
All right, so we all three have different horses on top in race 2. A very competitive maiden special weight to kick off that early pick 4. The stakes action starts race 3, the first of 8 stake races. We have the Salima here in race 3, and then races 5 through 11, 7 consecutive stake races in. But let's take a look here at the Salima for 2-year-old fillies. $200,000 purse going a mile and a 16th on the all-along turf course. No rail setting for the all-along. Let's take a look at the 7 first. Both Ashley and Keith have the 7 sharing on top for trainer Graham Motion. Let's show you a video spotlight of her debut July 21st, Keith, up at Saratoga. A very impressive debut.
Yeah, was able to get fairly decent position from the inside in a bigger field, a field of 10. Caught down to the inside. Is going to run into some trouble, though, coming up to mid-stretch. Going to lack some room. There's a wall of horses in front of her, but she's going to be able to shift out late and make a strong gain. You're going to see this to the final 1/8 of a mile. There you go. Straightens away and levels off, and gains 3 or 4 lengths through that final 1/8 of a mile. You key up that field stand. Boy, some horses have just come out of there and run very well. Fly So Pretty, the winner, was 2-1 favorite down in that juvenile fillies race at Kentucky Downs. Sequin, the second place finisher, came back to run a 70 next time out at Kentucky Downs. We know the fields are salty down there. Extra ground's not going to bother. Went to the 7 furlongs in the dirt. Absolutely galloped on that Alta turf, but look at the mare, shared account. You think this one wants the turf and stretch out a little bit? She was pretty good, right?
Yeah, she won the Breeders' Cup
Yes.
filly and mare turf, so a well-bred Speightstown filly for Motion. You have her on top as well, Ashley.
I just thought the debut was strong, having that inside post, and then got the outside the next start. And it was moved to the dirt. They kept her in, and she was just sensational. And when you draw off by 6, and they weren't, planning for the dirt, I like her here today.
Yes.
I think the distance is only going to help her. I don't think 5.5 was really well suited for her.
Absolutely. Agreed.
All right, I go with the 4 Love Beach on top. Nice debut score down there. Colonial going a mile on the turf. Maiden special weight. So well-bred Bernardini filly for Mike Stidham. You get Trevor McCarthy to ride. So I think the 4 Love Beach live here in the Salima. I'm 4 deep on my early pick 4 ticket here in the Salima. So I kind of think it's wide open.
Yeah, Midship Lady, the local. I mean, she's run 2 bang-up races, stretching out. I think the added ground is going to be okay for her. She did not look like she was going to get up last time in mid-stretch, but kept grinding and grinding and grinding. I think she'll move up off of that with the added ground. So 7-4-3-2 for me, Sunset Promise. You can't dismiss. Rising Bella as well, the rail horse, I think is going to be around a long way. So not a whole lot. It looks like strictly on paper, but sharing talent-wise, it looks like she's just faced a little bit better.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so for some further insight from trainer Phil Schoenthal, go to the Maryland Racing YouTube page or the Laurel Park. No, it's on the YouTube page, Maryland Racing YouTube page. We have a nice little interview with Phil Schoenthal talking about Midship Lady for the Salima. So I have the 4 on top.
Okay.
You guys go with sharing on top here in the Salima. Let's turn the page. Race 4, nice allowance race, first level allowance condition, 3 and up, 5.5 furlongs. My key horse on the early pick 4 here, the 6 Stroll Smoking for Mark Reed. What a nice claim this horse was. 4-year-old son of Stroll. Mark Reed claimed him for $16,000. Second off the claim. Now he's won 3 in a row. He won big last out on the dirt with a 90 buyer against Maryland Bred Allowance Company. Mark Reed and Correa, they're 31% together. So we all have the 6 Stroll Smoking on top here.
Yeah, this could have been a single in the early pick 5. I also tossed in the 2 as well. I know this one faced winners last time at Saratoga and just didn't fire that day. Finished last, beaten by over 20. But if you look at the maiden special weight win here at Laurel, going 5.5, I mean, that's a solid time, especially even the half, knowing that this one was on the front and drew off.
Yeah.
So I think this one's fast. I don't know, once you face Stroll Smokin' how fast you are, but I thought if I was going to try to get this one beat, I'd go to the 2.
Yeah, I think the 2 is awfully quick, but I think he's also going to have to deal with the 5 one more great time. Look at the recent workouts. This horse hasn't been seen since December for Jerry Robb, but man, a big race in the start of Nashua back in August of 18 against some good horses. First time gelding is the 5 one more great time. I think he is going to be part of this pace flow as well. They're going to be going fast. Stroll Smokin' I don't think is as fast early as a couple of these. You look at those internals last time out, 22, 46, and 2. I think that's what helped him. Yeah, he dug in, and I think that number is a little bit aided by that pace that he got. He's going to have to work a little bit harder. I'm still taking him on top. Jockey trainer combo, unbelievable. I think your closer in here to take a look at is the 4 By the Seashore.
All right, you get a nice 6-1 there on the 4, but they all have to beat the 6. Stroll Smokin' here in race 4. Back to stakes action here in race 5. Races 5 through 11, all stake races here. In race 5, we kick off the middle pick 4. We have a nice promo today on the middle pick 4. Let's show you what's going on. It's called the Hit It and Split It promo. All right, there's 10,000 Maryland Jockey Club reward points up for grabs. You cash the middle pick 4 today using your MJC rewards card to claim your share of 10,000 MJC reward points. So you hit the pick 4 and you get a bonus check, Keith.
There you go. I'm going to need to maybe take part in that. That would be good.
All right, so go to guest services, first floor of the clubhouse to learn more about the middle pick 4 promo today. And let's see, Tim Tullock has a ticket for the middle pick 4. Let's see how he played it real quick. $27 ticket. You can check out all of our tickets and picks for today online. Let's see, in the Laurel Fraternity, race 5, Tim goes with the 4, 7, and the 9. So let's take a look here at race 5, the Laurel Fraternity. Thanks for putting up the ticket. Laurel Fraternity, we're going a mile and a 16th on the Dahlia Turf Course rail at 52 feet. 2-year-olds for $200,000 here. What a historic race this is. Secretariat's won this race. A bunch of champions have won this race. Scratch the 3, the Quantico Kid. Let's start with the 4, Field Pass.
Okay.
That's my top pick. Ashley, you have him on top. Keith, you like him as well. Let's show you the video spotlight. Late August up at Saratoga against Grade 3 company in the With Anticipation. He's right there stalking the whole way. He's second turning for home. He's going to end up finishing, there he is. He's going to finish a real good second behind Fighting CB. Gets a 68 buyer speed figure. It was his second time going long on the turf. He broke his maiden going long on the turf at Saratoga. I think this horse has a nice foundation and bottom underneath him. A well-bred 2-year-old colt by Lemon Drop Kid. I like Lemon Drop Kid on top in races 5, 6, and 7 today. I'm thinking about playing a Lemon Drop Kid pick 3 starting race 5. I have Field Pass on top. So do you, Ashley.
Yeah, the effort last time against the graded stakes competition just was second best that day, was not going to get by the winner. And then if you look at the maiden special weight win, 2 back also at Saratoga, the runner-up came back next time to break the maiden. I just think it was a good group of horses. Anything in New York's good, but when they're at Saratoga, for these 2-year-olds, I mean, those are some of the best in the country.
Yeah, Decorated Invader, really good. Went up the Woodbine, scored in a big race. So Field Pass, was a little bit of a victim of the pace as well last time. Some horses got backed up into the first turn in that race at Saratoga, and he was just kind of, you saw, lapped outside the leader, but the leader got away with it. But it was a good one. Ran a big race. That Fighting CB ran a big one. I believe it was in debut. It took a lot of money in that race. That was at Ellis Park was the debut. So, yeah, I like the 4. I'm going to go with the 6. We're going to go try turf again. A maiden for Graham Motion stretching out. I like the breeding here on the bottom side. The mare was a turf route winner. Ran upwards of an 85. That was an allowance company at Gulfstream Park. But I just think this horse wants this extra ground. Another Miracle came back to run big at Saratoga, running a good number. Irish Miasa is going to appreciate the extra ground in here. Maybe a slight upset. 6-4, 7-5.
All right, the 7 Doc Boy. We all use the 7 Doc Boy. He's a stakes winner at Colonial. Won the Kitten's Joy last out at Colonial. It was only a 4-horse field, but I did it with a nice 61 Beyer speed figure. Gets Fergal Lynch back aboard today for Mike Stidham. Your thoughts here on the 7 Dock Boy, Ashley?
I liked him as well. I thought when he broke the maiden here at Laurel, going a mile was impressive. I wasn't impressed with the numbers, though. So for me, from a numbers standpoint, that's why I endorsed underneath.
Yeah, these horses, I mean, they have every right to step up. They're going to move forward off of that. And Cadet Connolly, who he beat, went up and ran a big number at a big price. I think it was 100 to 1 at Woodbine in that Grade 1 race. And albeit that was on a yielding turf course, but still you've got to respect the company there for the 7 Dock Boy.
And I like the 1 a little bit. The other motion 2-year-old in here, Weston Hamilton, should get a nice ground-saving trip on this 2-year-old. Had a nice debut score, maiden special weight here at Laurel, sprinting on the turf. A decent effort sprinting on the turf against Stakes Company last out at Colonial. He's well prepared. He'll get a good trip. So I think the 1 at 8 to 1, a decent price. How about the 5 here? Keith, you like the 5 a little bit. Jack the Ripper, first time Lasix, first time USA for Stidham, first time Blinker, Sheldon Russell. Yep. This horse could be live.
Strong jockey trainer combo. Just the respect that they're giving this horse. They're going to give him the chance in here. Look back, some other publications looked at the numbers. They work. Okay, so I'm going to toss him in. Blinker's on, Lasix on, so if they think he's got a chance, I'm going to toss him into the mix.
All right, so race 5, the Laurel Fraternity kicks off the first of 7 consecutive stake races. That starts at middle pick 4 with that promo. Checking out the Hit It and Split It promo for the middle pick 4. Go to the first floor clubhouse guest services to learn more about that. Let's turn the page here. Race 6 for straight 3-year-olds, going 1.5 miles on the all-along turf course. No rail, $150,000. The Bald Eagle stake here in race 6. Let's start with the 4. Ashley and Keith have the 4, Jaws Solitude on top. We have a video spotlight from the Grade 3 Virginia Derby. Last out late August down there at Colonial. A real big second down there, Keith.
Yeah, I was throwing things after this race. I was at the house. The wife's over on the couch. I'm on the computer. So let me go ahead and make a wager in this race. I'll make a nice big win bet on Jace's Solitude. Look at this brutal beat. They walked up front. Look at the internals, 52 and change, 18, and this horse still wants to kick it in late. Really the only one doing the best running through the final 1/8 of a mile. Just going to fall short. Extra ground, maybe a little bit more flow here. We're going to pick up Fergal Lynch. Jace's Solitude, this horse doing nothing wrong right now.
You look at the winner of that one, English B. I mean, that's a very nice horse. You look at some of these other horses, even third to Global Access, ran against Skywire. I mean, they're all top competition. So.
All right, so the 4 with Fergal Lynch. Jaws' Solitude going to be tough. I used the 7 on top
absolutely.
Here. He's no lemon. Another lemon drop kid here for Grand Motion. Trevor McCarthy will ride. Nice win up at Saratoga against a other than Allowance Company. So he's well bred. He was an allowance winner at Saratoga. He deserves a shot here. Might be able to run all day long. Out of a Dynaformer mare, you get Trevor McCarthy. So you both like the 7 as well.
He's beaten older, which is key. I think. Well, not a tremendous key, but I do like the fact. Look at the numbers paired up, 92, 91, lower 90 figures. Extraordinary Jerry came back to run a 97 next. So it's we're proving figs here for He's No Lemon, and he has that style. He likes the distance. There's not a lot of flow. He's going to be up close. He might go right to the front or sit just off it, but he is a stayer with Trevor, and Trevor's going to keep him there. There's no doubt. 4-7, 7-4. I think favoritism clearly between these two, and they are the 2 to beat.
A horse I didn't use, but Ashley, both you and Keith like the 6 here. Channel Island, Manny Franco aboard this English Channel 3-year-old for Mike Maker.
He had some trouble last time out at Kentucky Downs, and that's a weird track. It's a little hard for some horses. They do well, and they can't run at other tracks. It's just a very different configuration. But if you go to the race at Saratoga, he was only beaten by less than 2 to He's No Lemon. So he did like the distance. I think the 1.5 miles should be fine. And I think the same thing with He's No Lemon and Channel Island. I like the proven at the distance. Some of these horses haven't gone further than 1.1 miles, and this is going to be a game changer.
That's exactly right. I'm willing to forgive the race at Kentucky Downs.
All right, so 1.5 miles on the all along for the $150,000 Bald Eagle there in race 6. Let's get a quick commercial break. Over 10,000 today in the Rainbow Pick 6 carryover. That starts race 7. We start the graded stakes action in race 7. Let's get a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Twelve categories covering the best of the sport and lifestyle, all decided by the fans. It's the America's Best Racing Fan Choice Awards.
All right, welcome back. Let's take a look at today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6. Nice carryover. Starts in race 7. There's the number, $10,201 in the Rainbow Pick 6. Tim Tulloch, my co-host in the afternoon, he has a ticket. Let's check it out real quick. See how he played it. $57.60 play. He goes 3 deep here in the Grade 3 Baltimore-Washington International Turf Cup. He likes the 6 Frontier Market. I like that horse. He likes the 7 Caribou Club and the favored the 8 Glorious Empire. His singles in race 11, the $100,000 Weather Vane Stakes sponsored by Warriors Reward. He singles there on the 3 Meadow Dance, a nice looking filly for Brad Cox, looking for 3 in a row. I have Meadow Dance on top as well there in race 11. All right, there's the ticket. You can study it some more. And all of our tickets and picks for today online, laurelpark.com. Let's take a look here at race 7. Race 7, we're going a flat mile on the Dahlia Turf Course, rail setting at 52 feet. The Grade 3 BWI Turf Cup. My price play of the day. Ashley, you like this horse as well. The 6 Frontier Market, 6-1 for Chad Brown, a very honest 6-year-old son of Lemon Drop Kid. He's never been off the board. He's never run a bad race. He just won a nice 2 other than at Saratoga going a mile. I think that a lightly raced 6-year-old, he's only run 10 times. 9 for 10, 1-2. You get a top rider, Pimentel. Chad Brown wins everywhere. I have the 6 Frontier Market on top.
Yeah, I went with the price. I'm not sure we'll get 6-1 come post time just because it is a Chad Brown horse on the turf. But I think the efforts at Saratoga were good, especially considering these are both off a considerable layoff. And he has 6. You see he's only raced 10 times, so he might have had some issues. And I'm not really concerned. They seem like they've taken it their time with him. He's in great form, and the Beyer numbers were just eye-catching, only having 2 starts this year.
No. I mean, he could come down off of that 6-1. We've got a scratch in there with the 1 Golden Brown. I struggled making the line in this race because Glorious Empire, you just look at him, and you're like, oh, man, he's got gaudy numbers. 108 Beyer, 106, 102. They're all going to jump to him, but Grade 1 winner and all of that. But, he wants to be a mile and a quarter, mile and a half kind of horse.
Yep.
What's he going to do just, having to go ahead and chase a horse like Macagon going second-time service, right? This horse has a lot of speed. He's going to go to the front. I think he's going to have some other horses that he's going to deal with on the front end. I don't know if it's going to be the most comfortable trip. I should say that's 3rd time for service. But I go with the 7 Caribou Club. This horse likes Laurel Park. He's proven he's third race back off of a little layoff, a little hiccup there at Maidan. But we've got a video going back to last fall. Del Mar, how about this in the Grade 2 Seabiscuit and getting up. A little trouble at the break. We're going to see that almost a little stumble coming out of there, and was able to recover. Ends up moving up 3 wide to get it done. We'll speed it up, guys, if we can. But look at that big old gaudy field. And this horse is going to handle a much shorter group this afternoon. Now we're going to pick it up heading to the quarter pole Caribou Club and the familiar Glen Hill Farm Silks. Very patient. Going to find a little bit room between horses. Shifts to the outside and is dead determined through the final 3/16 of a mile. This horse is going to turn it on and go ahead, get the lead, and go clear. I think this group that he beats here, just as good, maybe a little bit better than today's group. Proven at Laurel, positional speed, and here I think sits just behind him, Caribou Club, to go ahead and get it done in the BWI Turf Cup.
All right, I didn't use them, but Ashley, you have them in your top 3.
I just think that race at Dubai, right, they travel. It does take some out of some horses. Other horses handle it fine. And even though he was 5th, he was off the board in the Highlander at Woodbine. I mean, he was beaten by 3 lengths. He faced really good horses that day, and then he came out of it at Mountaineer. Nice little prep to see what they were working with this year as a 5-year-old. But, I mean, he was sensational last year. And here, like you said, Laurel, he loves it.
All right, so I used the favorite here in my exacta. So do you, Ashley. There's a nice press release about Glorious Empire. He's thriving up at Fair Hill for trainer Chucky Lawrence. Check it out at laurelpark.com. You get a top turf rider, Daniel Centeno. But you do make a good point, Keith. Maybe it's just a prep race for longer races down the road.
It could be, and he could be a much shorter price. I just protected myself here. He never gets bet. Now this is, looking at this group. Maybe he's gonna get a lot more money, but just a little bit leery of him this afternoon.
All right, so nice running of the Grade 3 BWI Turf Cup. Race 7 to kick off the Pick 6, the big feature of the day. Race 8's going to kick off the late Pick 5. No carryover in the late Pick 5. They hit it yesterday for 6,300. as always, that industry low 12% takeout. Let's check out my ticket real quick, a $48 play. I go 4 deep in race 8, the expressbet.com, Frank J. DeFrancis Memorial Dash. I like the 2, Killybegs Captain, and I like the 3, Altissimo at a price. The 6, He Hate Me, and the 7, New York Central will be your favorite. So I go 2, 3, 6, 7 in the DeFrancis Dash. In the Laurel Dash, my best bet of the day is the 8, Dubini, but the 9, Dirty, will be tough there. Race 10, the Sensible Lady, the 7, Goldwood, looking for 5 in a row for Duarte and Colts Next Stable. So I single there on the 7, Goldwood in race 10, the Sensible Lady. And then race 11, the Weather Vane, sponsored by Warriors Reward. 3-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. The 3, Meadow Dance, going to be tough. She'll be the favorite. But I go 3, 4, 6, 7. My blow-up horse for the late pick 5, the 7, Foggy Dreams, at a monster price in race 7. Well, in race 11, what a nice claim that's been for Rudy Sanchez Solomon. How hot is that barn? They won again yesterday. So Foggy Dreams is going to be a monster, 1-ticket take down the whole late pick 5 kind of horse if I can get her home. So I'm 4 deep in the Weather Vane, then I go 3 deep in the finale with the 1, 6, 7. Let's take a look here at today's feature, the expressbet.com. Grade 3, Frank J. DeFrancis Memorial Dash, 6 furlongs on the main track here. Let's start with the morning line favored. The 7, New York Central, 5-2 morning line. Ashley, you and Keith have this horse on top. Let's take a look at the video spotlight, Keith. Let's take a look at his big win against Grade 3 company in the Maryland Sprint at Pimlico. Here's the start, Keith.
Yeah, and prior to that race at Keelan, a good effort just behind a horse like Limousine Liberal. The race at Pimlico, another. He overcame a little bit of trouble early. He bobbled at the break, but got great position around the turn. You see 3 horses kind of vying for the lead to the quarter pole. New York Central is going to be able to go ahead and find a seam down to the inside. Bid and kick clear by a length and 3/4 under Santana, one of the better riders in the country. Has he run extremely fast? He's got this 100 on the page. His other races, they're just okay. I think the key today is he catches some horses that are coming off of really big efforts that might regress a little bit. He's fresh, working forward, and Steve Asmussen, when he comes to Maryland, he means business. Look at this over the last 3 years. 7 for 16, 44% at dirt sprints in Maryland with an ROI of 288. He's awfully strong. Graded stakes, he's 4 for 7 and 5 for 7 with an ROI of 508 if you want to go a little bit deeper. But it's going to be my top selection. Early part of this race, the complexion changes a little bit with the scratch of Spartacle, who I thought was certainly going to be out there wing-dinging with old-time Revival.
Now, you have a scratch on the 5 Spartacle?
I did.
Okay, that's a late scratch. I
Maybe
didn't have
double-check
that.
on that. I don't want to.
I have a scratch on the 1 Wonderful
Do
Light.
they have it or not? The TV?
The 1 Wonderful Light's out. Eric, you guys have a scratch on the 5? 5 is out. Okay, that was a late scratch. So,
Scare me there, Stan.
It didn't come in early. O'Callahan, he's drinking Guinness or something this morning, so he's sleeping on the ball. So
O'Callahan. I like that guy then.
The 1-5 might be a nice claim there, Spartacle, but he's not running today. All right, so a nice 6-horse field in today's feature. I go with the 2, Killybegs Captain on top. I think this horse set up for a big race today for trainer John Terranova II. He ran a good 3rd last out against Grade 1 company in the 4-go, going 7 furlongs. I think a beautiful setup now, cutting back to 6 furlongs today. Yeah. Eric Cancel comes down the ride. He got a big 98 buyer in the 4-go. This race is going to be a little easier than a Grade 1 at Saratoga. So I think the 2, Killybegs Captain, set up for a big race, but you make a point. You hope he doesn't bounce off that big race in the 4-go.
Yeah, he ran awfully big, just faded just a little bit late. We used him that day at 32-1. He's going to get great position, though. I don't think he wants any part of dueling. He'll just draft in behind the speeds, which I think is now it's going to be the 8 Old-Time Revival and possibly the 3, Altissimo.
I thought the 7 and the 2, I mean, they've been facing similar competition in some of the same horses. Warriors Club is one of them. You've seen, the 7 faced Bobby's Wicked One, a very nice horse. And, I mean, the winner of the 4-go needs no introduction. That's just one of the best horses in the country. My concern was a couple in here have beat this one in the past, especially 2 back in the Tail of the Cat. But I think he's coming into better form. He's coming in off a great effort against even better competition.
I think the 6 furlongs right here, the way this race is going to set up, it should be really a good trip. Kelly Bates, captain's gonna be able to fall into.
Everybody has a shot in this race, I think. The 3 Altissimo, he's a heavyweight chipper from Ohio, a 6-year-old,
yeah.
made 639,000. He's won 16 races. He looks like the main speed in this race, doesn't he?
Well, I think Old Time Revival stand
Sure, yeah, on the
outside is going to
outside.
have to go. His best work is usually done on the front end,
Right.
and don't let him get out there and clear. He's run some bang up races,
Yes.
some prices. So yeah, Altissimo. How good was his race back? Was it in December in the
Days
Days
Friend.
Friend? How about he was up, he dropped back, he drafted back, came again, resurgent to just miss. Lakai, we know how good he is. Yeah, this horse, he got beat last time at Thistledown, and that's going to help your price a little bit, I believe, and just the kind of the unknown connections. But boy, does this horse run good.
And you're looking at these Ohio tracks, right? Belterra, Thistle. I mean, speed plays well there. So here they tried a little bit of a different move with him. They did rate from off the pace. And 100 Buyer, he ran excellent. I still expect they're probably, with the way he's running, going to go towards the front.
Yes.
But if he doesn't end up there, I still think he can sneak in.
Yep.
And the 6 here, He Hate Me, in top form right now for Sagamore Farm and Stanley Huff. Manny Franco comes down the ride. He just fired a big effort last out, getting beat to the 4. Bon Razan, who I didn't use the 4 at all, but the 4's live in here. And you mentioned the 8 Old Time Revival. This horse is capable of some big monster races. He's 7 for 12 in the money here at Laurel, 3-time winner. You get Victor Carrasco. He's going to get a nice trip on the outside. He dropped the hammer back in September of 2018. He fired a 94 Buyer when he ran lights out in the Chaladon.
Yeah.
So he's an interesting local long shot.
Yeah, He Hate Me. Franco in. Boy, all of a sudden, he looks like he's a little different horse. Was at Saratoga. If he brings those 2 races here with the trip he's probably going to get, I would say he's the one to beat. I was very, very close lining between the 6 and the 7. I think one of those. It would not surprise me if He Hate Me is the fave in here.
All right, so 6 of the best sprinters on the East Coast in the ExpressBet.com. Frank Dre, the Francis Memorial Dash, a grade 3 to kick off the late pick 5. I go 4 deep to kick off the late pick 5. Let's turn the page here. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 3 more stake races to go on our big stakes festival here at Laurel Park. Race 9 kicks off the late pick 4. Ashley, you like the late pick 4 today? Let's check out your ticket.
Yeah, I didn't single once again. I thought maybe in the 11th race, I was hoping the Ben Colebrook horse, Take Charge Angel, was going to be in here. And then when that was scratched, they look like they're going to run that one at Churchill. I had to restructure my ticket. So I actually went deeper in the second leg. In the first leg, I just came down to a 2-horse race between the 8 Dubini and the 9 Dirty. And I know we all kind of like those horses as well.
All right, so there's your ticket. Nice, affordable play. You can study that ticket some more online, laurelpark.com. Let's take a look. Race 9, the $100,000 Laurel Dash 3 and up, 5.5 furlongs on the all along. No turf course here for the all along. Let's start with the 4. Keith, you like a long shot here, the 4. Let's show the video. Clever Triad ran a big race back in August of 2018 against Open Allowance Company, and he hadn't run back.
Right.
Well, he ran okay last out. Is this horse rounding back into top form?
It looks like it, and beating horses like Fielder, who's in here today, Triple Burner, when he was in very good form. So proven over this turf course. Yeah, I didn't like any real bombs today, but this is a horse that I think if you're playing some exactas, tries, and superfectas, you can put into the mix. He's going to, get off at a big price. He's going to be probably 15 to 1, 12 to 1 when it's all said and done. Last time out behind Square Shooter, a good effort with Trouble. We're getting Sheldon Russell today, which doesn't hurt. Yeah, why not as a user from just off of it at a big price?
All right, so you have the 4 at a big price. You have the 1 on top. We all like the 1 here, oldies but goodies. We're not going to show it here, but if you want to check out an interview with Mike Trombetta, go to the Maryland Racing YouTube page, interview with Trombetta talking about oldies but goodies. Also an interview there with TJ Aguirre talking about his long shot today. Benny Havens and the Laurel Fraternity. That's at the Maryland Racing YouTube page. But yeah, the 1 oldies but goodies is going to be a nemesis on the inside here. He has early speed. He has Centron. Centron's not going to let up any ground. He's going to just sit parked right on the fence and just try to work out a good trip.
I think he gets good position in here with an alert break. I'll dismiss the last race. Yielding turf course, yes, he's run well in the past over softer ground, but Mike's staying with him. He thinks he's going to bounce back off of that poor effort. Positional speed, he doesn't necessarily need it. I want a good break, though. I don't want him more than maybe a length out of it around the turn before he makes his move if he has to, but I look for a comeback race towards that 94 number that he did in the Ben's Cat, beating Dirty, beating horses that are this caliber.
Yep. All right, so you have the 1 oldies but goodies on top. Ashley, you and I have the 8 Dubini on top, 9-2 Daniel Centeno on the 6-year-old for Kate DeMasi. Now, I know he's 0 for 9 the last couple years, but he just missed in this race last year on a yielding turf course. He was 3 in front turning for home, going 6 furlongs on a yielding turf course. He was 3 in front, just got beat. Centeno was aboard that day. Centeno back aboard today. I think Dubini, if he's 3 in front turning for home today on this quick, firm turf course, he's gone.
Thought his last 2 races were very good, especially the one in the Turf Monster. I mean, Pure Sensation is an amazing turf horse, especially in these sprints. I think the distance today is perfect. I was torn between Dubini and Dirty. I went to Dubini just knowing that the last 2, he's really come into form, and he likes Laurel.
Okay.
All right, so nice running there of the Laurel Dash. Top turf sprinters there. Race 9 to kick off the late pick 4. Couple more stakes to go. Race 10 starts the final pick 3 of the day. Race 10, we're going 5.5 furlongs on the Dahlia rail, 52 feet. The $100,000 Sensible Ladies Turf Dash, Filia Mares 3 and up. My single on my late pick 5 is right here. The 7 Goldwoods won 4 in a row. She's very quick. J.C. Ferreira in town to ride for Jorge Duarte Jr., so a homebred for Colts Next Stable. They made a bunch of money with this 5-year-old mare by Medaglia d'Oro. She's a 2-time winner on the Laurel turf. I have her on top. Ashley, you have her on top. Keith, you try to beat her with the 1 Escapade. We have a video.
Yeah.
Let's go to the video spotlight here on the 1 Escapade.
Yeah, and I might have her line a little too high at 10. I'm hoping maybe we can get 5 or 6 when it's all said and done. But Escapade, this visually to me was strong. Call this chart. You see the short comment, rated kindly 3 wide, eager, and pulling away under a drive. But she came back off of a layoff. She's finally running back-to-back races. Watch her here. She just spurts away when Sheldon really gets into her on her solid hand drive the last 16th of a mile. She's inside. She's got positional speed. She'll be able to stalk and pounce if needed. But I like the fact she's running back when a reasonable time. Not that break. Look at her workouts. Steady, good maintenance works. I think they finally may have her in her best form, and she can pull a little upset from just off of it here.
All right, I like her. I use her. Actually, you use her as well, but we both have the 7 Goldwood. You have this mare on top looking for 5 in a row today.
Yeah, it's just been impressive when you see a horse win 4 races back-to-back out of the 5 starts this year. And, they've given her some time off in between her races, but it doesn't seem to affect her. It seems like a nice little refresh for her. She's coming in off her best effort from a numbers standpoint. Very quick time in 56 flat at Monmouth Park. And, they opted for this spot over the big day of racing today at Parks.
Yeah, she likes Monmouth. She does like Laurel as well, and she's probably the speed of the speed in here. She might be able to clear. My horse is probably going to have to maybe possibly rate back off of her and make a move into it. But I tell you, Escapade, look at this race 2 back stand. She beats Factor of One, who keys up with Goldwood 3 races back on Goldwood's page and took money into Goldwood. Right. So that worries me a little bit about my price on Escapade. So I think she's going to fire a big one.
All right, well, and we all used the 11 Fire Key with Pimentel 4-1. Just got beaten a grade 3 at Belmont 3 starts ago. She's in good form for James Ryerson. She just has to. You hope she doesn't get lost too wide there on the outside. So nice running here of the Sensible Lady. Let's turn the page. Race 11 kicks off the late daily double. It's the $100,000 Weather Vane presented by Warriors Reward, a stallion up in Pennsylvania. 3-year-old fillies here going 6 furlongs. The 3 Meadow Dance looks like a real nice filly for trainer Brad Cox. 3-year-old daughter of Jimmy Creed. She's won 2 in a row. She's undefeated as a 3-year-old. Let's show you her last win against upper-level Allowance Company, Ellis Park, August 3rd, going 6 furlongs. She wins wire to wire. Here's the start this day.
Yeah, watch the start. We'll just pick her up in the orange cap to the outside. Looks like a bobble and just, a duck out towards the outer rail. Took a little bit to recover, but man, when she did, she just drugged the rider up to the lead, nursed her on around the turn, and just turned away any challenges through the final quarter of a mile. Meadow Dance, Brad Cox, what can you say? If he ships, you better pay attention to his horses, and she looks like she's getting better. I don't think she necessarily needs the lead, but man, what a recovery after that brutal beginning and just all heart through the final 1/8 of a mile. Look, she's kind of almost toying with them a little bit through the final 70 yards.
Yeah, they're coming inside and outside.
Didn't matter.
She
Didn't
repels
phase her.
all challengers. So a nice mount here for Sheldon Russell. The 3 Meadow Dance I have on top. Ashley, you have her on top as well.
Yeah, I just think with the scratch of the 8, Take Charge Angel really helped her because this one was super fast, even going longer at 6.5 furlongs. I do think she's the one to beat on paper, like you'd mentioned, Keith. That most recent was very impressive to overcome a trip like that.
Yeah, some of the speed comes out in here with the 2 Lady TNT and Take Charge Angel. They were going to be part of the festival. A lot of these horses have shown they just kind of want the lead for the most part. So need supervision for Jeremy O'Dwyer. A little bit of an upset selection here with Fiergal Lynch. She got the better of Meadow Dance, albeit going longer at Churchill. She's going to make her first start since February. I think coming back, this is a horse that ran well in debut. She's going to sit from mid-pack and make a run. I think a duel very well could develop in this race, and she's going to be, I think, the stone cold closer to run them down.
I like her. She broke her maiden here at Laurel on an allowance race at Churchill, stakes at the fairgrounds, and then just the grade 2 was too deep of water in the Rachel Alexander. So, yeah, she's fresh. She's been training here at Laurel. Jerry O'Dwyer, he's been on a roll recently. How about a big 30-1 blow-up horse here? The 7 Foggy Dreams, trainer Rudy Sanchez Solomon. The barn had a nice win yesterday. They claimed this filly for $10,000 back in March, and man, what a nice claim she's been. She's gone right up the ladder. They caught a little bit of a lucky break in that 4-horse field at Delaware last out to win that allowance race. The number didn't come back very big, but I bet you her confidence is real big, and this barn can do no wrong right now. So the 7 Foggy Dreams for a red-hot barn at a big price.
Yeah, you leave Rudy Sanchez Salomon out of your tickets, and you know you're going to get beat more often than not. Yeah, she's going to have to step it up. I mean, she wants that pace flow up in front of her. The 9's an interesting little horse. I see Ashley. You threw her into the mix. Talk the talk. What'd you grab off of her that you like?
In her maiden win last time out, she ran a decent buyer number, a 71, but she did it in style, and she just took over. I mean, there was never any question about it, and that was a little bit different even in her previous race at Monmouth. You know, that was only her first start back since February. She was further off the pace, and she just missed by a neck. I think those maiden special weights they're still decent competition. I think she fits here. I just like that she can be on the front, but I think in here there's all these horses want the lead, most of them.
Correct.
Maybe she'll sit off.
Yeah, and she's showing dramatic improvement, and she doesn't have to be on or near the lead. She can come further back. She's got stamina build up with some of those route races under her belt. Yeah, I think she's a user, and she's going to go away, go off at a pretty decent price as well.
All right, so the Weather Vane, the last of 8 stake races today on Fall Festival today. Still one more race. Race 12. Let's try to wrap it up here. Talk about our top pick in race 12. Maiden 3 and up. Maiden claiming 40,000, 7 furlongs on the main track. Keith, you have the 6 on top. Ashley, you like the 6 as well. Talk about this first-time starter, Keith, by Street Magician here for Larry Johnson and Mike Trombetta.
So worn out, I don't have a note for this horse.
That's all right.
You
well,
know,
you get
I got to this and I got exhausted. I said, you know what? In Trombetta, we trust. We see a couple bullet workouts, a good 3 quarters and 13. Not the toughest group at all, Stan. Zig, off the numbers is going to be getting a lot of money. Interesting firster from the 1. I didn't use her in the mix. I'll use her underneath. Out of that mare, 2 Columbus, you saw a half-sibling win. That was Lacey Gaudette's horse run a big number in debut, the 2-year-old last week.
That's an old 2-punch mare for the Bowman family. She's been a solid producer. I like the breeding of the 1 Great Go-Go by Maryland's leading sire, Great Notion. Weston Hamilton just going to have to overcome that tough rail post in debut going 7 furlongs. But I like the 1 Great Go-Go. We're out of time. Big 12 race card today. First race post times 12:25. The stakes action starts race 3 with the Salima, and then picks up again race 5. The Laurel Fraternity. Nice carryover in that pick 6. That's over 10,000. That starts with grade 3 action in race 7. Beautiful weather today. Great doing the show with you guys.
Enjoyed it.
We're going to try to check out the Reds on the rail later on after the late double.
That sounds good.
All
I
right.
like that. You got it.
All right. Good luck today. Dave Robbins coming up next with scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.